Every Sunday morning, Amelia set 2 cups on the kitchen table, one for herself and one for her father. The second cup always stayed full, untouched, but she couldn't bring herself to stop pouring it. It was her quiet rebellion against the truth that he wasn't coming back. The house felt heavier now, too quiet. Even the old grandfather clock in the hallway ticked differently, slower, lonelier. Her father's coat still hung by the door, his shoes neatly side by side, waiting for feet that would never step into them again. 3 months had passed since the heart attack, but time hadn't softened the edges. Amelia was 32, but in the stillness of that house, she felt like a lost child again. When her father was alive, mornings were loud. He'd sing off-key while burning the toast, scold the radio hosts, and tell the same story about her first day of school as if she hadn't heard it 100 times. He called her Mia Bird because she never stopped moving, cooking, cleaning, fixing, planning. He was the rhythm of her days, the heartbeat of that home. When the hospital called, everything inside her went still. She hadn't cried that first night. She just stood in his room, staring at the half-read newspaper, the unfinished crossword, the glasses left open on the armchair. She promised herself she would keep everything exactly as he left it, the paper, the furniture, even the dust on the shelves. It felt like loyalty. Ryan, her younger brother, didn't agree. "He can't live like this, Amelia," he said one afternoon, standing awkwardly in the doorway. "It's not healthy." "I'm fine," she replied, eyes on the coffee cups. "You're the one who runs away." "I have a job, Mia." "You have excuses," she snapped. "That's what you have." He exhaled, frustrated. "You're acting like Dad's still here. He's gone. You can't build a shrine out of his memory." "Get out," she whispered. Ryan looked at her for a long moment, his eyes red, his jaw tight, then left without another word. The sound of the door closing echoed through the house like a gunshot. Weeks passed. Amelia fell into a routine. Work, groceries, cleaning, silence. The silence was the worst part. It filled the house like fog, thick and heavy. Then, one morning, while dusting the shelves, she found the letter. It had slipped behind a framed photo of the 3 of them at the beach, her father's arm around both kids, his face sunburned and happy. The envelope was yellowed, the handwriting shaky. "Mia, if you're reading this, it means I didn't get to say goodbye. You were always the one holding us together, me and your brother both. But I need you to live, not just survive. You can't keep the world frozen for me. You have to make your own noise again. Don't turn this house into a museum of what was. Fill it with laughter again. Promise me that, Mia Bird. Love, Dad." That night, she cried. Not the polite, quiet kind she had done before, but the raw kind that leaves you trembling. She clutched the letter to her chest and sobbed until the morning light broke through the window. When she finally looked up, she felt something small but real shift inside her. A week later, she called Ryan. "Come home," she said softly. "Sunday breakfast. I'll make Dad's pancakes." He didn't answer right away, but finally replied, "I'd like that." For the first time in months, Amelia smiled. The smell of pancakes filled the house. Amelia hummed under her breath, the radio playing softly. It felt almost normal. She even opened the curtains wide, letting sunlight flood in the room. When Ryan arrived, his eyes scanned the house, the same pictures, the same furniture, but something was different. Amelia had set only 1 extra cup this time. He smiled faintly. "Progress?" She laughed nervously. "One step at a time." They sat down to eat. For a few minutes, it was peaceful. Then Ryan cleared his throat. "Amelia, I need to tell you something." She looked up. "What is it?" "It's about Dad's will." Her hand froze on the fork. "What about it?" He left the house to both of us, jointly." "I know that. But he told me something before he died." Ryan's voice faltered. "He wanted to sell the house. He said he didn't want it to trap you." Her face went pale. "That's not true." "Mia, he..." Don't! She shouted. The sound cracked through the air like glass. Don't you dare lie about him! I'm not lying, Ryan's voice rose to. You think I wanted this? I wanted to keep it too, but he made me promise. Tears stung her eyes. You were even here. You barely visited him. Ryan slammed his hand on the table. Because you wouldn't let me. Every time I came, you treated me like a guest in my own father's house. Amelia's breath hitched. The clock ticked loudly in the silence. You don't understand, she whispered. This house? It's all I have left. Ryan's eyes softened. It's not the house, Mia. It's him. You're scared that it's him too. Her lips trembled. Maybe I already have. He reached across the table, but she pulled away. That night, thunder rolled over the town. Rain lashed against the windows. Amelia sat in the living room, staring at the letter. She read it over and over, her tears blurring the ink. Don't turn this house into a museum of what was. Outside, lightning flashed. The power flickered. The old radio buzzed and died. The silence roared. She stood up suddenly, grabbed her father's coat from the hanger, and pressed it to her chest. The scent was fading. She clung to it, trembling. Then, something inside her broke. The years of holding on, the fear of letting go. With shaking hands, she opened the back door. The wind howled in, cold and wet. She stepped outside and laid the coat on the porch railing, letting the rain soak into it. I'm sorry, Dad, she whispered. I don't know how to let go. Her sobs were drowned by the storm. The next morning, Amelia awoke to the smell of smoke. Panic shot through her. She ran downstairs. The old radio had short-circuited during the storm, sparking a small fire on the counter. Flames licked at the curtains. She grabbed a towel, beating them down, coughing through the smoke. Ryan burst through the door moments later. He'd come by early to talk again. Amelia! He shouted. Together they doused the flames with water, coughing and gasping. When it was finally over, the kitchen was blackened. The walls were charred, the air thick with the smell of burnt wood. Amelia sank to her knees. Her father's letter, left on the table, was gone, turned to ash. Ryan crouched beside her, his voice voiping, Mia, are you okay? She nodded weakly, staring at the ashes. For a long time, neither of them spoke. The fire had taken the one thing she had refused to part with, the physical memory of him. But strangely, she felt lighter. A few days later, Amelia stood outside the house with Ryan. The insurance agent had declared most of it a loss. Ryan looked at her cautiously. What do you want to do? She took a deep breath, the cool wind brushing her face. Sell it. She blinked. Are you sure? She nodded. Dad was right. I can't live inside a memory. Ryan smiled faintly. He'd be proud of you. Amelia looked back at the house one last time. The cracked windows, the charred walls, the empty chair visible through the open doorway. It's just a place, she said softly. He's still here, just not where I was looking. Epilogue. Months later, Amelia sat in a small apartment across town. The walls were bare, but sunlight streamed through the windows. On the table sat one coffee cup. Just hers. Ryan visited often now. They laughed again. The silence was gone, replaced by the soft hum of life returning. One Sunday morning, as she poured her coffee, she paused and looked at the empty chair across from her. This time, she smiled. The chair would always be empty, but she wasn't.